All righty. So we're going to start with the breathing exercise as usual. I'm just going to find my timer as usual. Ooh, Katya. Hi. Reset. Hi, friend.
Hey.
Welcome. We're just getting started. You're right on time.
Awesome.
Today's super
Yay.
chill, but it feels so good. It's a really my collarbone just popped. It's some sort of stuff that is just, again, it's gentle, but it's like extra stretching. So it feels so good. But we'll start with breathing exercise. Just get in a little timer. 5 minutes of basically what I want you to do. I was thinking of having this on the screen, but I want to see how I've done it just with my eyes closed, and it's kind of fun that way because you sort of have to you imagine your own thing. But I'm just gonna for 5 minutes, and I'll give you little cues and stuff. But I want you to just imagine a figure eight, and by figure eight I mean infinity, so on its side, or you can date eight, whatever. And trying to do like inhale for one trace, exhale for the other. So you pick the speed at which you do this, but the idea is it's just a mindfulness trick to and a breathing tool to focus your mind on the breathing and then slow it down or speed it up however you want. But I would suggest slowing it down because often we are breathing a bit up here. So, shall we begin? So, if you want to close your eyes, go for it. If not, try to just like look at nothing in particular. But having the eyes closed is probably good for this figure eight infinity sign. And just settle into your body. Get the sort of shifties out of the way. Get comfy. And start to just notice your breath. It can be so calming to just even like a couple of breaths, just like actually feel them happening. And then somewhere from within, imagine an infinity sign and really try to get detailed. Like, what color is it? Maybe it changes color. What font is it? It's like, how big is it? And start to follow it. So it might change if you want to actually sort of use your hand to draw it without looking at your hand, or just imagine it happening on your eyelids. And once you have a nice picture of it, or you even if you can't, you're like, I can't see that, maybe with your breath it'll help to sort of create this little image. So again, we're going to start at your own pace, making the figure eight one full round is an inhale and one full round is an exhale. So based on the speed at which you feel like taking these breaths, that's how you'll draw your little figure eight. And just checking in with your jaw and neck, shoulders, make sure they're nice and relaxed. And just be mindful of what your body's doing. It's kind of fun. Maybe your eyes are moving, tracing that figure eight. I find that I'll always kind of like rock back and forth just a little bit when I try to do this. Face soft, jaw soft, neck soft. Shoulders soft, hips, tummy, legs, feet, all soft. And working through your last 3 breaths. And whenever you're done with that, you can open your eyes and just kind of move your body a bit. Hello. Yes. So calming. I feel like I'm gonna go lie down. All right. So working with our necks, we want to do a little bit of warm up first. I heard recently that there's this muscle called sternocleidomastoid that is this one because it goes from your sternum and your clavicle to a thing called the mastoid process on your skull. And I heard recently that I just love this muscle. It is fun to work on. It always needs work when I treat people. But someone told me that it's the like listening muscle. It's a attention muscle, which I don't know why. I didn't. It was like at a thing that I couldn't ask questions, so I was left sort of like what. But I love it. And so this guy, he was facilitating a sort of meditation, and he was like focus on that muscle and warm it up, and I loved it. So let's do that. It's really simple. The muscle does like a lot of different movements, but you can activate it just by turning side to side. So you'll see it kind of stick out there. So just turn your head side to side. Super simple. Obviously, this is warming up all the muscles, but I kind of like the idea of thinking of one muscle. Like I'm turning on this muscle to listen better. And just moving whatever pace feels good, but at the end range, when you get to as far as you can, just notice what that feels like. Give it a little second when you reach that point, and then keep going and see if you can go a little farther each time. If not, it's all good. At a certain point, you won't be able to unless you're an owl. I don't even know if I have this muscle. Mysteries. Feeling it out. It's cool because sometimes, because it's attached to so many things, it like my sternum will kind of pop. And I've often found that when I work on this muscle with people, they'll feel that release. And that's something we're going to work with today. This one's also good if you ever feel ringing in your ears, or you have you can't pop your ear. Sometimes working on this muscle like we will today can help clear that up. It's really cool. Okay, a couple more. Beauty. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find our own skin. Boop, 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 boop. And I just want you to, with like as many fingers as you can touching your skin, push, like make sort of grip yourself, like press in a little bit, and then gently tug down. So you'll already there feel sort of like the connective tissue is stretching. So hold that, and then you're gently going to tilt your head back. Just as far as you want, as far as feels good. If you feel pinching in the back of your neck, just come back out of it. And just come in and out of that. You're sort of playing with this stretch. We don't need to hold it too long, especially leaning back can be a bit uncomfortable. And just make sure every time you come back to facing forward, you get a nice, you make sure you're really holding onto that like skin. Hold it down and then lift up. Let's get one more of those in. And then we're gonna do the same thing. So if you wanna reset, we're just gonna hold there. And then we're gonna do more turning and you'll feel different things happening. Nice and slow. Not only is this like a very good way to release these muscles, it's also really cool to just have a moment to think about how your body works, because you'll feel sort of the muscles activating. It's just fun. Bodies are cool. One more each side. Super. And then let that go. Fingers are tired. And we're going to do a similar thing. So now you're going to just hold. This is just nice. Sometimes just do this. Hold there. And same thing. So kind of press into yourself and pull away just gently. Again, so you'll feel the skin move, and then at a certain point you can't move it anymore. So get to that point, and then from here we're going to bring our ear to our shoulder. Same thing. It's like you're stretching the muscle, but it's that sort of more superficial layer kind of separating, which is so nice. And then just go in and out of that. Again, like resetting the little skin pull before you go again. Oh yeah. And just in and out of there. Again, we don't need to hold the stretch for a really long time. It's more of a like getting things moving. Now this time, it's the same hand placement, but now turn your head again both directions and just feel what's happening under your hand. Just a couple times here. And let's switch sides. And just nice feel, get a nice, your full hand should be touching skin, muscle, maybe feel some bones. And again, tug away and just start doing the ear to shoulder. Super gentle, going as far as feels good, and then come out of it. Trying to keep your jaw relaxed and continue to breathe. Breathing is always a good idea. Unless you're underwater, I guess, then you should not breathe. All right, couple more. Make sure you're resetting that a bit every time so you're not, it'll get, looser so you can go a little bit farther. And we'll do a couple of rotations. So looking over each shoulder, feeling if it feels any different from the other side. So good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Last little thing. This is my favorite thing. my favorite thing to do to people, and it's my favorite thing to do to myself. You're gonna grab this muscle. So I like to take my thumb and like this part of my finger and like lean towards the side where you're gonna try to get it. It can be rather stuck. Just depends on how it is on you. It's sometimes hard to grab, but you really want to get in there. You won't damage anything. We're very sturdy. And just try to really grab that muscle. So not the skin, you'll know if it's just skin, it's like really thin and easy to move around. If it's muscle, you'll know it feels like a rope, hopefully not as hard. And yeah, if you lean a little bit towards it, you'll be able to grab it more. And then from here, just start to like little like thumb circles or whatever feels good to massage it, or try to like move it around a bit. And again, people are a bit nervous around necks, but unless it hurts, then don't. But it shouldn't. You'll feel tenderness probably because it's usually a tight muscle, but you can't, like, you can really move that around quite a bit. And the more you move it, the more sort of mobility you'll have after. And you can start to tug down a bit. So up and down, that's where you start to get into the upper attachment. So if you get that ringing in your ear or feels like you can't pop your ears, sometimes just doing this can really help because it attaches right up into where like your whole ear system is. Just give it some love. And you can also move down because it goes all the way down the side of your neck. If you find a spot that's quite tender, you can sort of pause on it and take some deep breaths and see if that tenderness dies down. Sometimes, like I just felt, it'll like the muscle will twitch, and that's totally fine. That's actually a really good thing. It means it's releasing a bit. And we can move on to the other side. Oh man, maybe moving around a bit. It's so good. It can be intense, but after it's like, amazing. So finding the other one, if you want to move over, slacken it up and get in there. And then notice, like, how's this one? My left side is much harder to grab, which means it's kind of like stuck. So this is the one I get a lot of left-sided neck pain. And so I try to work on this one quite a bit. Or I get my partner too sometimes. So you have to communicate. It's a great communication practice because you're like, this can be very sensitive. So you have to tell the person sort of how it feels for you. But it can be really nice for someone else to do it. So again, sort of making circles as you get more confident, just move it around. Really try to like peel it off of your neck almost. That is separating it from, there's a lot of muscles underneath it. And we always want muscles to glide on each other, not be stuck. So nice little massage, move up and down it, find the spots that you need to work on most. And then same as always, try to keep your jaw relaxed while you do this and keep breathing, especially if you find a tender spot that catches your breath. Ease off with the pressure and then take some deep breaths. And just the last few seconds here, finding little spots that feel good, higher or lower. Another thing you can do is once you're holding it, sort of rotate your head back and forth. That can be quite intense. But again, it's kind of cool to see when it's working and when it gets soft and how it feels to just hold it while it moves. All right, you can let that go. I'm like bright red, which is great because it's like fresh blood flow coming, some heat. It's great. Natural heating pad. All right, our last little thing, which we always do, is taking some deep breaths with our shoulders. So inhale and squeeze. And exhale, fully relax. Inhale. Really squeeze, try to tuck your chin in and like cocoon a little bit. And let it go. And last one, inhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you want to extra squeeze everything, your face, your hands, your arms. This time, slowly rolling your shoulders back as you exhale. Bring your chest up nice and tall. The end. Great work. Hope that feels good. I love that. We'll see you next time.